up. I'm gonna put all the laundry over here on the side of the bed. Side note, I am recovering from COVID right now, so my voice is not gonna be what it normally is. If you watched my most recent video that I put up on there, I said the same thing, that I'm here recovering from COVID, but I figure, hey, if I'm stuck here at home, might as well get something productive done during these small times that I'm actually awake. I don't know how many of you have got COVID recently, but it's no fun. This is my second time ever getting it, and I am 32 weeks pregnant right now, which makes it so much worse. So anyway, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna like dump out my laundry here onto the bed, and then I'm going to demonstrate for you some file folding methods that I like to use when I am folding things. So what is file folding? I'm going to go through what that is. I'm going to explain how to do it and walk you through some examples with different kinds of clothes. I've got some towels. I don't have a ton of laundry. I'm mainly showing you my daughter's stuff, but I've got some towels here. Again, I'm going to dump it out and then show you with some different items how that can look and how easy it is, because it's something that I've now been doing for years, and it's just something that just comes really, really easily to me now. But it makes it so, so much easier to see all of your possessions and really utilize the space well. So let's start by dumping everything out. One moment. All right, pulling over this laundry basket here. All right, we've got a comforter. We'll fold that. And we've got a basket full of miscellaneous things here. So I'm just going to dump that out onto the bed here for us. And as I was just saying, don't mind my voice. I am recovering from COVID right now, so still getting it back. But so glad that you're here joining me today. So before I even show you how to fold anything, and again, I've got so many different types of things here with us, I just wanted to start by explaining what is file folding. So file folding is a method of folding. It is not something that I created myself. I was actually first introduced to this when I went on my own journey of minimalism. I'm gonna bring this a little closer while I talk about it. So when I started my own journey on minimalism in 2019 and decluttered about 80% of my own possessions, that's when I started file folding. And I learned that method from Marie Kondo. I am not someone who necessarily, as a professional organizer, prescribes to all of Marie Kondo's methods, but file folding is one. Oh, hi, thanks for joining. File folding is one method that I have used, and it's so, so incredibly amazing and helpful. And to me, it's not about getting a perfect fold, although if you really like the aesthetics of having a perfect fold, then you can take your sweet time. For me, it's about efficiency here in my home. I do laundry a couple times a week for my family, and it's also about just being able to see all of the objects that you have. And when you put away items in a drawer in a file fold, you're going to be able to see your items just so much better. And it's just such a better and more efficient way to utilize your space. And I think that some people get really deterred by this method because they think it's going to take too much time. And you may have seen me in other videos talk about a no fold method, which I do recommend to some people. But today let's focus on file folding. So I'm going to start off by just showing you some items that are already file folded. I did a couple of them. I'm going to undo them for you. But basically what we are going for at the end of a file fold, and these again are not perfect here, maybe I'll turn this one this way, it looks a little nicer that way, is that they're going to go upright in the drawer. So imagine that this is a dresser. Instead of stacking them on top of each other like this in the drawer, we're going to put them upright. And so what that allows me to do when I'm looking from the top angle here is that I can see exactly what I have, right? So when you stack things on top of each other in a drawer, and imagine I'm just stacking more of this pile on top of this, the result is that you're not going to be able to see what's on the bottom. You kind of forget about what's on the bottom, or you have to really like shuffle through. Hi, thanks for joining. Shuffle through everything to find what's on the bottom. So when you have them upright like this, and then you look in the drawer, or wherever it is that you're storing it, you can see everything really, really easily. And so that's why I like it. So I'm going to start with towels because I feel like towels are one of the easiest things to learn how to file fold, and then we'll work on things like t-shirts and pants and some items that are slightly more tricky, but I think as you're going to see, this really isn't too hard. It just takes some getting used to and some practice. All right, so you know what? I think I'm going to bring my chair over. That way I can sit a little closer to you while I demonstrate this instead of having to sit on the bed. So the first thing that you're going to want to do, and again, I'm going to undo this towel. This is just like a microfiber cloth that I have here that I use for cleaning. This is really an ideal way to start because it's already in the shape of a rectangle. And the goal that we have with any object we are file folding is to get it into the shape of a rectangle. And I know that sounds like, what the heck? How are you gonna do that, right? Like, how are you gonna make this a rectangle, which is a dress? How am I going to make this a rectangle, which is my daughter's sock? I'm gonna show you how to do that. So let's start with the easiest thing though, like a towel, which is already in the shape of a rectangle. So since this is in the shape of a rectangle, there isn't too much that we have to do to get it into that shape, right? It's already like that. So personally, I like starting by just folding in half. And it doesn't matter which way. It can be the long way, the short way. Again, this is already a rectangle. If it's a square, it really doesn't matter. So this is in half. And then the amount of times that we're going to fold is going to really be dependent on the height of the drawer that we are putting something away in. What I also recommend is that you're going to fold as many times, and I don't know what that is, there's a little bit of fuzz on there. Here, let's fold it again. So we've done it once. I'll show you again. We're going to fold it in half once, and then fold it in half again. You want to continue folding it to one of 2 points, either to the point where it fits really nicely upright in the drawer, or to the point where it can just kind of stand up on its own. And so for me, the amount of folds that I did, that was 2 folds, right? I'll show you again. So I just did 1 fold here, and a second fold here. Is that I like to do a 3rd fold because I feel like then it sits up really, really nicely in the drawer. Sometimes the items, and hold on one second, let me just see these comments. I am so glad that, side note, I am so glad that I turned on and learned more about comment moderation, everything here like that here on YouTube, because I don't want to kill our vibe. And for those of you who are here, I am only going to be responding to comments that are actually really like kind and professional. So anyway, I did 3 folds. That's what I did here, and I feel like that's the perfect amount to fit nicely in the drawer that I'm going to. Now, if I went a 4th time, you're gonna see here that, like, what the heck? It's not really folding nicely anymore. It's kind of hard to fold. And so the objects kind of tell us how much to fold them. I'll also, hi, thanks for joining. I'll also talk about objects later on that are really difficult to fold or really flimsy and like which items just don't make sense. So there's 1 file fold. And let's do it again with my second towel, just to demonstrate it again. So I'm gonna start by folding the towel in half once. We'll go in half a second time. And again, if you're going for perfect here, you're going to need to actually line up the corners really nicely. But I'm just gonna be honest with you, I don't care that much about perfection in my home. So, all right, go in half a second time. And then we'll go in half a 3rd time. And I think that that's like the perfect amount of folding to fit nicely in the drawer. I'm going to show you what they both look like now, side by side. I did spend a little bit more time making it all nice and lined up. Oh, thank you. So you can see that that's what I would be doing here. And there are plenty of more towels here. I'll add another one here, like another kind of rag-like towel. And I did like a bunch, well, not a bunch, several loads, a towels load as well as a clothing load. So I'll show you what it looks like with this towel as well, just to give you another example of that. For those of you who are just joining me, I am a professional organizer. I own a home organizing and unpacking company in Los Angeles and Orange County, California. I'm also a full-time college professor. I teach communication classes, and I'm also a mom, and I'm also on top of that 32 weeks pregnant. Okay, so doing this again with another towel. So I folded it in half, right? It's already a rectangle, so we're already nice start with that. Folding it in half. I'm gonna go in half again. Hello, thanks for joining. And once again, I'm gonna go into a 3rd time. And I feel like, once again, this is like the perfect amount of folds. If I start doing a 4th, it's just not folding as nicely, and that will also fit nicely in the drawer. Now, yes, I'm gonna show clothes too. I was starting with, thank you so much. To your question about clothes, I'm starting with the easiest thing, which are towels, and then I'm gonna show you different types of clothing items to fold. The one thing I'm not going to show is underwear, just because I don't wanna go there, but I will show some shirts, I'm going to show pants, and I'm showing this with kids' clothes, dresses. I'll show a men's shirt too, I may have one of those around here, as well as some socks. So I'm getting there. And thank you on the congratulations on my pregnancy. So we're starting easy, and here's another towel that can be added with these towels for the file fold. And as I was saying when we started, the benefit of file folding is that when you put them upright like this in the drawer, you can see everything so easily. Oh, thank you. I hope you have an awesome possum day too. I'm recovering from COVID, so it's not too fun. But, you know, I'm happy that you all are spending some time with me because honestly, it's kind of lonely here just being segregated to this room. All right, I'm going to do one more towel and then we'll move on to some clothing items. So once again, this is a longer towel, but still in that rectangle shape. So again, I'm going to go in half once, and then we'll go in half again. Now, personally with this one, with how big it is, the way that I like to fold it is I like to do thirds at this point. Now, you could just stop here, right, or go in half, and you could stop there, and maybe that would fit nicely in your drawer. But just as a personal preference for me, one of the things I like to do with this long of a towel is to go in thirds. And so I'll go to the middle, and then fold down to the end, and then go upright in the drawer as well. I promise you that if you've never done this before, it's going to be slow at first, but it's going to eventually become just second nature. Okay, let's move on to some clothes. And I'm even seeing I have like some masks here. My daughter got COVID before me, so yeah. Anyway, let's do pants. And I've got a few different examples of that. I've got legging type pants and I have jeans, so I'll demonstrate on both. And again, it doesn't matter like what size we're talking about. Yeah, I'm gonna get to jeans. I'm gonna show leggings and then I'll show jeans. So these could be adult pants too. It's just nice that I can demo with these kids ones because I do need to fold this laundry that I've done. So first turn them right side out, right? Like these were inside out and that's pretty par for the course with how my daughter's laundry typically is. She never turns it right side out beforehand. The next thing you're going to wanna do, remember we're going for the rectangle, right? As close to a rectangle as possible, is fold the pants in half. And this is going to be true with the jeans when we get there too. Now, I know that these are small, and these are, I don't know what size are these, like a kid's, these are kids small size. So your pants, especially adult pants, right, they're going to be much bigger than this. And they may stick out more than this, right? Like you can see that there's a little bit of a indentation that comes outward, right? There's like an outward angle. So it's not as close to a rectangle yet as I would like it to be, but it's pretty close. And so if yours really stick out, which mine would too, what you're going to do is fold in, just tuck in that one corner. So it's basically where like the butt is. Here, I'll unfold it for a second. You're gonna tuck that in on the side here. Also, I would recommend, and I know I'm sitting right now, but I would recommend doing this while standing over a flat surface. So once I get to the jeans, I'll show you. I'll move my tripod so you can see me doing this while standing, and I'll just show my hands. So once you tuck in the corner like that, you're going to bring up the bottom of the pants. What I mean is like where the ankles are. Bring them almost all the way to the top. They're not going 100% to the top, but like right under, in this case, right underneath the elastic. So that's what you're going to do next. You're pulling up those ankles almost all the way underneath, right? So here's the top, right, where the elastic is, and here's where the ankles are. And now it's looking pretty darn close to a rectangle, right, which looks awesome. We're gonna use that thirds method now again. And I need to do that because my daughter's drawer isn't tall enough, and this would be too flimsy if I only did it in half. So I'm going to fold down from the top. So I'm holding on with both hands, the ankles of the pants and the waistband. And I'm gonna fold down to the middle, right, because we're gonna do thirds, to the middle, and then one more time. And then what do you know? We've got the perfect file fold once again. So just like the towel, right, now it looks just like that, except this isn't a towel. And so this garment did not start in the shape of a rectangle perfectly like this, right? But it ended up like that. And so after you file fold all of these, they will be upright in the drawer. And regardless of the size, right, we can get it. It's going to be a little bit bigger, right, because your garments as adults are going to be bigger than this. But this is the shape that you're going to be going for, and then you're going to line them up in the drawer like this. All right, let's switch over to jeans. These jeans are so adorable. My daughter, so she's 8, she just this school year started being into jeans. She didn't want to wear, quote, hard pants until this point. You know, I'm an adult and I still don't really love hard pants, but it's so cute that she loves to wear hard pants. So, all right, we got a pair of jeans here. And once again, we're going to fold them in half, just like we did with the leggings that I just showed you all. So you're going to fold it in half, okay? And you know what, I'm gonna stand up so that I can show you this on a flat surface. I'll move my tripod so that you all can see this. One moment as I move you all over here. I'm a little bit limited with this particular tripod. I wanted to use my small one so that I had a lot of flexibility with you, but I'll try and show you as best I can from this angle, and then I'll sit back down and show you from that angle too. So you're gonna lay it down, right? You're laying down the pants, you're folding them in half. Once again, if that little butt area is sticking out too much, you're gonna fold that in. These ones don't really do that. And if you have something like flare jeans, so sometimes I get asked, like, what about the wide leg jeans? Like, these are, quote, mom jeans, which I think is so adorable. You may have to do that a little bit too. So you may have to fold in from the side of the pants to get that rectangle shape. But you can see that this is already pretty close to a rectangle. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to fold up from the bottom, just like I did with the leggings, almost all the way to the waistband. And then with these, if I try to do 3, it's just not gonna work. So I'm gonna sit back down on the chair because that was definitely easier for me physically right now with my tummy. So if I try to do 3 folds here, it's just not gonna work. So the garment tells you, right? It tells you how many times you can do it. So in the case of these jeans, I'm only going to fold them in half once. And then, just like with the leggings, they'll go upright in the drawer. Now, I personally don't always fold jeans, file fold them. They do look really nice in a drawer, but another thing that you can do is hang jeans if you don't want to file fold them. If you are going to hang jeans, my tip is to always have that butt area, this part here, facing the wall, facing away from the hanger. So when you hang it over a hanger, you want that part with that crease in the back to face the wall, because that way the front, the way that it's hung, is really, really uniform and straight. And you know what, I'll go and get a hanger. Give me 1 second, I'll get a hanger and I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean. I have a hanger just right there. One moment. I realize this is a really small pair of jeans, so I would usually use a kid's hanger for this, but we're in my room. So as I was saying, if we were gonna hang this instead of file folding it, what I would recommend that you do when you put it on the hanger is to put it into the closet this direction so that that crotch area part is facing the wall. And then it looks so much more uniform when you have them all hung up like that. So you know yourself, you know what's realistic for you of whether folding or hanging makes sense. But again, I'll show you one more time the pants folding example. So you're going to fold the pants in half. And again, if need be, you take that like butt area and you put that inward so that you get it closer to a rectangle. Then you're going to take the bottom of the pants. And I hope that you all are doing this with me right now. If any of you are folding, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to know how it's going for you, or if you have any questions about what I'm teaching. So you take the bottom where the ankles are almost all the way up. So you can see that I've still left a little bit of the waistband. And then from there, now with adult jeans, you probably can do the triple fold, but in this case, because these jeans are pretty small and it won't let me, I just am going to fold them in half, and then they will go upright in the drawer like this. All right, moving on. So what have we done so far? And thank you so much for joining me. I've shown different towels with file folding, right? I've shown you all that. I showed leggings or soft pants as well, and I showed jeans so far. So let's move on to t-shirts and other types of items. Let's see, what do I have here? I know there's gonna be at least one shirt. All right, this is actually my daughter's pajamas, top. So we'll do the whole set, why not? And you all are already gonna be pros at the pants part because we just practiced that. But all right, we have a t-shirt now. How cute is this? It's like a mini shirt. Now, this isn't a rectangle, right? It's got sleeves on it, so we need to get it into a rectangular shape. That's the first thing that we're always going to do with file folding. And so what you're going to want to do, personally, I like laying the garment the front side downward onto a surface. So I would lay it down here, and I'll show it to you laying down on the surface, and then I'll show it to you right in front of the camera. So I'd lay it down here, and then the first thing I'm going to do is to bring in those sleeves. And I'm seeing when I'm looking at the back of this pajama shirt, there is a little bit of a hole in it. You know what? Still wearable. We're going to keep it for now. But you're going to bring in those sleeves. And as you do that, you may need to bring in the side of the shirt a little bit too. But the result of that, and you see it from the front, now it becomes closer to a rectangle. And so once it's in that rectangle shape, you once again are going to do that 3-part fold that I showed you, where you go to the middle and then to the end. So I'm going to go down to the middle, and then one more time, and then that's the file fold. And again, I'm going to show you in front of the camera now as well. And you can see here it still looks kind of flimsy. So I personally, unless I had, I don't know, a lot of them, and this was the size of the drawer, the height of the drawer, I might go one more time and then make this the file fold and make it really tiny, because I feel like this is going to stay upright better. All right, let's start over and I'll show you right in front of the camera. So we have this t-shirt and we're going to bring in the sleeves. Right? And you can do this with long sleeve too. I do have a long sleeve example that I'll show you because it's only a slight modification from this. You're going to bring in both of the sleeves so that it looks like a rectangle. And then from there, you're going to do the fold 3 times, meaning you're folding in thirds. So you go down to the middle, and then you go down one more time. Okay, it's a little hard for me to do in the air like this, but I'll show it to you in front of the camera when it's folded down those 3 times. So now it's folded those into thirds, and you have to decide now, is this the right height for your drawer? Is this going to stay upright nicely? As I was saying, like, I feel like it's a little flimsy like this, so I might do one additional fold, and I think that that will fit really nicely. Now we're going to do the corresponding pair of pants, and then maybe I also will decide at that point, like, do I want to unfold this one or not? So just like we did with the soft pants and the jeans, you're going to take the pair of pants, and these are PJ pants, and fold them in half here. You can see on these that they do stick out quite a lot more, and so I am going to want to fold that part inward. After I do that, what I'm going to do is to pull up the ankles all the way, not all the way, almost all the way to the waistband. So what that looks like is like this, right? So it's almost all the way to the top, just like that. Then I'm going to fold it into thirds, right? So 1 and 2. And that looks just like how we folded these guys, right? It's the same kind of idea here. And then I can put the set together. That's personally what I would do if I were going to be organizing this, just in terms of making getting dressed that much easier for kids. I would put the whole set together. So that's how I would have it in the drawer. I wouldn't have all of the like PJ tops. Hi, Sylvia, if that's your name. I can't tell because it says Siboni on your username, but hi, Sylvia, I'm Julia. So I would put these together in the drawer like that. And then again, the benefit of doing the file fold is that you're going to be able to see everything upright. It makes it really, really easy for you. So let's move on to another type of item. I'm just going to take a sip of water for a second. As I mentioned, I'm still recovering from COVID, which is such a bummer. But it is what it is. I'm on day 5 now since I tested positive for COVID. Here we are. And also, I'm 32 weeks pregnant, which is just not the most fun combination, but I really am happy that you all are here, joining me today, keeping me company while I am quarantining in this room, and I get the benefit of teaching you all how to file fold. So let's see what else. Let's do something long sleeve. Do I have a long sleeve shirt? I'm seeing what I have. So this is a dress, but I'm going to I will hang this, but I'm going to demonstrate what to do with long sleeves with it, as I'm seeing that there aren't any long sleeve examples just within arm's reach. So I own a professional organizing and unpacking company in Los Angeles, California, and Orange County, and I've been doing this for about 4 years now, and it's something that I really love. So if you're not already following me, all of my content is about decluttering and organizing. Occasionally I post about my life, my pregnancy, but primarily this is exactly what I do, and I would appreciate all of you following me. So if you're not already subscribed, please do so. All right, so this is a dress, but we're going to just imagine for a second that this is a shirt, because I want to demonstrate what to do with these long sleeves, because once again we would need to get this into a rectangle shape, right? So what we did with the short sleeve is that we just brought the sleeves in. Now sometimes that's way, way too long for the garment. And so what you're going to need to do is to fold one of the sleeves up and then the other sleeve upwards before you do the rest of the file folding. So it's the same exact method regardless of whether it's short or long sleeve. The only difference is that if the sleeves are too long, and I'm thinking especially like men's shirts, it'd be like super long, long arm sleeves, is that the arm sleeve may extend too far. And so you may have to tuck it in. And this is the same thing that we had done essentially with the jeans or any pants that we needed to tuck in. Where am I from? Originally, I'm from Long Beach, California, but now I live in a part of LA called the Valley, for those of you that are not familiar, but I'm in the greater Los Angeles area in Southern California. All right, I want to show you all socks with file folding, and I'm going to show you two examples. I'll show you adult socks because I'm very close to a dresser that has adult socks, and I'll show you kid socks. So give me a second to pull out some adult socks. Okay, these will work. Let's do kid socks. So hold on a second, let me take a look at this. All right, so with kid socks, and this is true with any socks. I don't know about how many of you did it this way, but I used to fold my socks this way. Give me a second. Oh, thank you. Thanks, I appreciate it. So I don't know how many of you used to fold your socks this way, but this is what I did growing up, and this is at least how my mom taught me. And what I did like about this method is that it kept the pair together very, very easily. Now, as I was mentioning when I first started this, when I first started my whole decluttering journey, learned about minimalism, I watched that whole series by Marie Kondo and like read her books. And even though I'm a pro organizer and don't follow her methods exactly, I was definitely inspired by her. I learned from her about why you shouldn't fold your socks. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Why you shouldn't fold your socks the way I was doing it, which was like rolling it up in a ball. And essentially it was because it stretches out the top of the socks. Now, some of you may argue it's working for you. If it's working for you, don't broke what ain't fixed. So what is it? What is it? Don't fix what ain't broke? Yeah, that's how you say it. Don't fix what ain't broke. I knew it was something like that. But if you do want to try the file fold method for socks, what you're going to do is just take two socks, the two socks that go together, you put them together so they look identical, and then you're just going to fold them in half with the sock this small, and then they go upright in the drawer. And it's still the pair that's together, and then you would file fold them and have them all lined up. But again, the benefit, or so I've learned, is that it's not stretching out the top of the socks. So this is one of the easiest things to file fold, which is just putting these two things together and folding them in half like this. Okay, let's take an adult sock though. Side note, I don't know how many of you in here are elder millennials or millennials like me, but I refuse to give up on ankle socks. I don't care what Gen Z says. And as a professor, hold on, let me see what my comment says. Oh, that's nice. As a communication professor, thank you for all the cute emojis. As a communication professor, I work primarily with Gen Z students right now, and I've learned that ankle socks are not cool, but I don't really care about being cool anyway. So anyway, we're gonna fold an ankle sock. Once again, we're gonna put the two socks together here, and going in half may be enough for the drawer height. But you see how it's kind of a little bit flimsy like this? It may be beneficial for us instead to do it into thirds. So going into the middle, and then one more time, and then upright. I don't really mind that it sticks out like that. I don't think that it still looks kind of nice like that, and I would probably go into the drawer with this like at the end of the drawer. But if in half works for you, then that's totally fine. And I'm gonna find a pair of longer socks too, just so I can show you what to do with those. So I have some, and it's still very warm here in Southern California, so these socks are not coming out probably anytime soon, or maybe even this year, but like these are really wintry socks that are quite thick, and they have much like longer parts of the sock. They're not ankle socks. And so we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna just fold into thirds here, right? Or maybe even 4 times. We're gonna see how it looks. Let me try thirds first. So I'll go down, third, then one more time, and I'm seeing, oh, that's not gonna work. The sock just doesn't roll if I do that. So in this case, if the sock is that hard to do, I either have to start my fold a little bit higher up, like that, or just go in half. And if it fits in your drawer in half, and I'll show you this, if it fits in your drawer in half like that, great. But if not, you may have to do almost like a roll kind of method where you kind of just roll it as well. Now, that's what it would look like, which is not, well, I put away the adult one, but it's a similar type of look. But anyway, I don't know what that means. What's on the wall behind? There's a crocodile on the wall? I don't know about that. That's just my bed back there. Anyway, what else do I have to show you? Let me see if there's one more type of item that I can show you. All right, I'm going to show you like a pajama dress kind of situation here, like a nightgown. And then I think I'm just going to reiterate everything from the beginning again, as I don't know how many of you have been here since the beginning, but I'll show once again one more time how to do, starting with the basic file fold with towels through each of the items. And I'll just move through it one more time a little more quickly. Like I said, I really, really appreciate you all being here. It means a lot to me. Especially since I'm recovering from COVID and I'm just quarantining in this room. It's nice to have your company here. And if you're not already subscribing, please do so. If you like organizing content and decluttering content, that's pretty much most of what I do. So, and you'll have to let me know where you're from too. As I said, I'm here from Southern California in the US. Drop something in the comments so I know where you're from. Just say like either your state or your country or your city. All right, let's do this nightgown. Shout out to Bluey, what a great cartoon. So this is like a little sleep dress. It's pretty close to the rectangle shape, right? So we've been talking since the beginning about how to fold and that we need to do that. Oh wow, so far away from me. We have to get it into the rectangle. So what you're going to do is just once again bring the sleeves inward, right? Bring the sleeves inward. And you may have to also bring in the sides of the nightgown inward a little bit, which is what I did. Then from there, just like you're folding a t-shirt, you're going to go upward. Now, what I might do the first time, just to make it a little more manageable, is to totally fold the whole thing in half, because I think this is going to make it easier for me when it's so long like this. And then from there, I'm either going to go in half or thirds, again, based on the size or the height of the drawer. So I'll show you what in half looks like. In half would just be like this. Thirds would look like this, and I guess that would be a very, very low drawer. Or I think this is what I would probably do or will do for the drawer. I'm going to start by folding it in half. And then once I have it in half, I think I'm going to go in half again, just like I did the towels, because I think that's going to sit upright really nicely in the drawer. And I'll do one more of those to demonstrate that. As I see there's, actually let's do this one. There's so many little nightgowns here. All right, so we'll do this one, which I think is like a unicorn nightgown. Once again, bringing the sleeves inward. And then, because it's so long, I'm folding the entire garment in half before I do the file fold. So the next thing I'll do is fold it in half one more time, and then across. And then I'm going to show you what they look like side by side, right? Like again, we're not going for perfection here, but the benefit is that when you look down on it from the top of the drawer, you can see exactly what you want. And then just pull out that one instead of having to pull things off from the bottom. Let's do the demonstration one more time. If you're just joining me, I'm teaching how to file fold. And I think this time around I'll also pull out an adult shirt so that you can see that, and maybe also an adult pair of shorts so that you can see that. But we're going to start once again with demonstrating how to file fold with a towel, because that's the simplest thing to do. So I want to show you what the file fold would look like. It will look something like this. Right? This is what it's going to look like. So if you're looking from the top, it's going to look like that. All right, so I'm going to, sorry about that, I had a phone call coming in, but we're just going to do this really quickly as I'm wrapping this up. So you're going to always want to start with a rectangle, right? Always start with a rectangle for the fold it in half. Go in half one more time. And then that may be enough for the height of the drawer, but seeing how flimsy this is, you'll want to do it one. And let's see, what is happening with my live? I feel like I've got paused for a second. Let's see. Okay, I'm not sure what problems I'm having, but I think I'm going to have to end the live now. So thank you all so much for